Hello, Internet. I am Corion, your witch in residence here on YouTube. And today I want to talk about a movie called Hidalgo. This was originally conceived of, I believe, as Oscar bait, but actually turned out to be more than just a tearjerker. It turned out to be a fantastic movie. And it touches on something that I really think is near and dear to my heart, and something that I would like to offer to you all. Now, before we get too deep into it, I just wanted to say once again, thank you to everybody who has chosen to subscribe to me. I would really appreciate if today was the day that you as well chose to hit that subscribe button and give us a like. And if you feel that I have something important to say, please share it out, as I would appreciate the feedback. And that is how we choose to show YouTube that these values are worth existing and worth being part of this public debate. So, with that obligatory ritual out of the way, I'd like to jump deeply into Hidalgo. Now, for those of you who haven't seen the movie, for shame, and you should get out there and take a look at it. And for those of you who know me and know I'm not a big fan of Westerns, when I say that this is by far one of my favorite movies, you can see the weight of that. Hidalgo is the story of a Pony Express rider who was one of the fastest long distance racers in North America, go to a race in Saudi Arabia that was the longest and most grueling horse race in the world, and actually come home victorious. Now, I could talk a lot about horses. I could talk a lot about the politics. I could even talk about some of the racism and racist behavior that existed at that time and was on display. I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to focus on the main character's primary philosophy, and that is Stoicism. Now, I'm sure a lot of you have heard the word Stoicism or to be stoic before, and you probably have some idea of a chiseled jawed individual, maybe a Viggo Mortensen type, that says very little, but what he says is very profound, and is generally considered a good person, but maybe not the most welcoming or talkative or friendly kind of person. And I want to explain a little bit about what Stoicism is, why it's a useful philosophy, and why it's something to consider possibly adopting some of the basic tenets of it in your life. So, at its core, Stoicism was created by the Greeks as a philosophy for how to be a good person. And see, at that time, they weren't concerned about who had the most money or who had the most power or what have you, but who could live a positive, virtuous life the best. One could argue that some of the greatest people in the world were farmers and, people living a simple life, but who chose to live it well and who chose to live it happy and who chose to help other people. And this was a code of behavior that became very popular at that time. So, if you're looking for enduring happiness and a tranquility of mind that comes from being a virtuous person, Stoicism is the way to look at it. Now, at its core, the basic tenets of Stoicism are: if one is to be virtuous, one needs to listen more and contemplate one's words and actions and deeds before one does them. That more can be said about a person through their deeds than their words. In fact, words are downplayed in Stoicism in favor of positive, beneficial actions. Additionally, one of the main and important core tenets is to ignore things that are not virtuous in terms of things that are said to you and focus on those things that are positive. And to me, that is one of the most important pieces of it. How often have we seen that things like negative reviews or negative stories get far more attention, the selling you of fear, than positive things, right? Feel good stories of people triumphing over adversity. I feel it should be the opposite way. I feel that people triumphing over adversity, learning to deal with difficulties and then succeeding, are far more interesting stories. I feel that people who embrace the positivity, the good fortune of others, and find joy in that good fortune because their friend had a great day, or their sister got a promotion, is far more important. And I feel we should be celebrating those things as opposed to focusing on the negative. But when the negative does happen, that is the time for action. That is the time to try to force positive change through your deeds and through your will. So that's at its core what Stoicism is about. And that's why you don't hear them talk a lot, but listen a lot. And when they talk with kind of a subdued joy. Because deep down, that's what they feel. Is they're so thankful, they're so happy to be in a situation with a good person where they can sit and listen and have a good time. That just makes them happy, and I think that's something we need to consider going back to. Now, I don't buy into all the tenets of Stoicism. Goodness knows I'm on YouTube, so I have to talk a lot. But I do believe in trying to let go of the negative, to not holding it on, because when you allow that negative in, for lack of a better term, it strangles your heart, okay? It weighs you down, and that's not good for anyone, okay? Focusing on the positive, focusing on the joyous things in your life, that will lead you to a better place. What I recommend for myself and for others is a practice of just being grateful and having an attitude of gratitude. I'm going to suggest this just for a week. When you get up in the morning, look at yourself in the mirror and say 5 things you're grateful for, right? It could be, I have my health, I have a roof over my head, I have some awesome friends that would go to bat for me. There's a show on TV I really like. It doesn't matter what it is. It's just something that fills you with joy. And when you run into the negative that day, think about what you did at the beginning of the day in that mirror, okay? Looking at yourself, talking about how joyful things are, how these things were good in your life. It'll help you. It's a shield against that weight, that pressure, that stress. So let's start doing that. Let's try to be a little more positive. Let's try to bring some light and happiness and positivity to YouTube. I would really appreciate that. I'm sure the people around you will appreciate it too. So let's try it. Let's try it for a week and see what happens. Why don't we even try putting down some of the things that we're really happy about that are in our lives in the comments section? I would love to see some cool, awesome things that you guys are all experiencing. I think that would be a wonderful boost for the community too, to see that not everything needs to be negative, that we don't have to be angry all the time. We can instead be full of joy, be full of positivity, and not let those things that anger us or upset us weigh us down. We can be better than that. We don't have to accept the things that are negative. We can just ignore them and move on to better and brighter things. And if those better and brighter things aren't there, then we make them. Okay, we choose our destiny, which, if anything, Hidalgo talks about as well, is how much force of will and your determinism will affect your outcome, which I firmly believe. And heck, I mean, I wouldn't be on YouTube if I didn't, because let's be honest, how many times has nervousness or fear or doubt ruined you from potentially doing something great? Don't let those things hold you back. You guys can do it. I believe in you. And deep down, there's a part of you that believes in you. And I think you should listen to it, because that part of you is really smart. So just a couple of little pieces. We've had a population explosion in the number of subscribers on this channel lately. And I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you that has chosen to join this group. We are a very welcoming bunch, and we're very happy to see you here. So please continue to show up, take a look at our videos, and check out our Tuesday show and our every other Thursday show, which is called Transmissions from the Rogue Council. But keep in mind, those videos are only up for 72 hours. So with that in mind, guys, I'm going to let you go. Merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.